Well, hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm in a little bit of a different setting. I am in little baby Jay's nursery, and I just thought it was fitting because I am gonna do a little second trimester recap update, tell you guys how I've been feeling, things that have kind of helped me out along the way in the second trimester. And I also want to talk about things that they don't tell you, or kind of things that were just a surprise to me, unexpected to me. I want to do this in the same fashion as my first trimester recap that I did. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. If I keep looking down, I have a little list of all the things that I want to say, because pregnancy brain is a real thing, and I'm gonna try to stay as on track as I can. So let's go ahead and get into the video. I'm currently 28 weeks pregnant, and I know some people say 27 weeks, 28 weeks is the start of the third trimester. And I just had my 28-week appointment, and at that appointment I had to do my glucose test and get some blood work done. So luckily passed my glucose test, don't have gestational diabetes, thank goodness, but my blood test did show that I was anemic a little bit, so my doctor started me on some iron supplements, and I kind of figured that because I started to be really tired, kind of really exhausted again, so hopefully those help. They haven't bothered me so far, so fingers crossed that keeps going good. But I want to start off by talking about some symptoms that I had in the second trimester, or just things that were different versus the first trimester. So in the very beginning, I struggled with lower back pain, really bad SI joint pain, to the point where I thought I might have had like a kidney infection or something. It was just very, very uncomfortable. So the things I found that helped me were rolling on a tennis ball, going on walks, and doing prenatal yoga. I still try to go on walks and do prenatal yoga every week. That's something that really helps me stay stretched out, just stay active, and just makes me feel better in general. So that was something that was uncomfortable. Another thing that happened that still kind of happens is round ligament pain, and it's usually if I get out of bed too fast or I'm putting the dishes away, doing laundry. I get a little side stitch on the underneath side of my belly. And recently I've started getting Braxton Hicks contractions, and that's usually just kind of if I overexert myself or don't drink enough water. So if I notice that they're happening, I'll lay down on the couch, drink some water, just take it easy for a little bit, and usually they will go away. So that's kind of the more uncomfortable things that have been happening. But other than that, I have felt pretty normal. I felt really good throughout the second trimester. A lot of people say it's like the best time in pregnancy, and it honestly really has been for me. I know that's not that way for everybody, but definitely have felt the most like myself, way more so than the first trimester. Another thing I have on my list that's really common is peeing a lot more. I peed a lot in the first trimester, but in the second trimester, I feel like I pee every 5 minutes. I know it's not that way. It's usually every 30 minutes, every hour, and you're supposed to stay hydrated, drinking lots of water, so it's just kind of inevitable. Your baby's moving around in there, using your bladder as like a beanbag chair, so peeing a lot is definitely a symptom that I have experienced. And kind of going off of baby moving a lot, that is one of the coolest things I think I have experienced in the second trimester so far, is getting to feel your baby move. It's just such a hard thing to describe to people when they ask how it feels. In the beginning, I started feeling movements really early, around 17-ish weeks or so, and they felt like little finger flicks on the inside was the best way that I could describe it, or like bubbles popping, kind of. So super weird, really cool, just one of my favorite things. And on here, another thing I wanted to talk about was in the second trimester, you get your anatomy scan, and they go through and they check all of baby's organs and parts. They can tell you the gender if you want to find that out. In my first trimester video, I had already found out because we did the genetic testing and the blood test, and that will tell you the gender. And we are having a little boy, and if you follow me on Instagram, you know that too. But something to look forward to in the second trimester is getting another ultrasound, getting to see your baby again. And my office does the 3D, they have 3D capabilities, so we got to see his little face. And during his ultrasound, he was literally folded in half. We called him like a little lawn chair because his feet and his hands, everything was up by his face, and it was really hard to get a little face shot of him, but luckily they got everything that they needed, so we didn't have to go back. Another symptom on here that I didn't think I would be talking about is stretch marks. So my mom didn't really get any stretch marks. My sister got a few on her legs, but that is kind of where I am starting to get them, on the back of my thighs, on my butt, and on the inside of my thighs. I have some popping up. None on my belly just yet, but we still got a ways to go. But that's just one of those things that if I get them, I get them. I'm gonna have more babies in the future, and I feel like that's just kind of part of it. I use lotion and oil and drink tons of water, but it's just one of those things that's genetic, and I feel like if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. So I'm just rolling with it, embracing it. So I'm almost done with the symptoms kind of thing. But if you couldn't tell, I am very out of breath. That is another thing that I have experienced all throughout the second trimester. First trimester, not so much, or it wasn't as noticeable as it is now, especially in the last few weeks that I've gotten larger. And I will give you guys a little bump update, a little belly shot later in the video, but definitely since I've gotten larger, I have noticed that I am way more out of breath. And another thing is thirsty. I am so thirsty all the time. Wake up in the middle of the night, chugging water. I'm drinking water all throughout the day. I drank a lot of water before pregnancy and still drinking a lot of water now. Next, I want to talk about my must-haves. The first thing on my list is a pregnancy pillow or extra pillows to have while you sleep. This is one thing that I think has made me so much more comfortable. It made me sleep so much better. Mine was gifted to me by my sister, and I just love it so much. It is one of the C-shaped ones, so I put the bottom part in between my legs so that my hips are even, and then I can cuddle the top part, and the long piece on the back supports me so I don't roll over on my back while I'm sleeping. But if you don't want to use a pregnancy pillow, you can just use regular pillows. Put one between your legs, behind your back, under your belly, wherever you need extra support. Honestly, I think that has helped me sleep so much better. When we went to Disney, that's what I had to do at the hotel, and it worked just as great. So if you don't want to spend the money on a pregnancy pillow, definitely recommend having some extra pillows around just to make yourself a little bit more comfortable, especially as your belly gets bigger, it gets harder to sleep, insomnia, all the things that come with pregnancy. Next on my list kind of goes with thirst, and that is having a water bottle. I rotate through a few Yetis, and I always have a metal straw with them, and I love my water ice cold, so I just feel like this helps me drink so much more water, keeps my water cold, so definitely a big necessity for me. So the last thing I want to talk about is some things that are a little juicier, maybe a little TMI. So if you're my dad or somebody who doesn't want to know TMI things about pregnancy, feel free to click off of this video or skip this part. But I feel like the best way to validate yourself sometimes is to share your experience, because 9 times out of 10, somebody else is probably going through the same thing. It can make you feel a little bit more normal. So I'm going to share some of the weird things that happened to me during pregnancy that I really did not expect. So one of the first things that happened to me that I noticed was leaking boobs. This happened to me pretty early, around 17 weeks, I want to say. I can't remember exactly when it happened, but I would notice little spots in my bra, or before I would get in the shower, like I would notice them visibly leaking, or on my t-shirts at night when I would put my PJs on to go to bed. That was something did not expect. It was super weird to me. I was asking my sister about it. I asked my doctor about it at one of my appointments, and it's something that is completely normal. Your body's just preparing to breastfeed. Doesn't happen to everyone, but it definitely does to some people. So that was something that surprised me, threw me off a little bit, but yeah, that does happen. So the next thing in the same realm of boobs is your nipples change sizes, get darker. So mine definitely were noticeably darker and kind of fluctuate in size. I know that's really personal, but it's something that happens that I don't think that everybody knows about or everybody talks about, and they can continue to get bigger and darker towards the end of your pregnancy for breastfeeding. So that is something that was definitely a little weird, a little shocking, but just another body change that happens with pregnancy. Something else that I've experienced that was kind of weird are zombie veins, because they're like a really dark bluish green. All the extra blood that you're pumping, your skin is stretching, they're just way more visible. So that is something I've definitely noticed. I'm very fair skinned, so I feel like they just show up on my skin a lot more. Going along with kind of the skin stuff is hair. I just feel like I'm extra fuzzy, like hair on my stomach, hair on my back. Not that it's even dark, there's just more of it. It's blonde, like I said, it's just like peach fuzz. And the hair on my legs has grown a lot faster. My hair is getting longer and fuller, you know, belly's getting bigger, hair's getting longer. Everything is growing. So as I'm editing this part, sorry, I look a little bit different, but as I'm editing this part, I forgot a really big symptom that I forgot about, and it is body acne. And I feel like that's something people don't really talk about a lot. They talk about like the pregnancy glow and how your skin is so nice and clear. That has not been the case for me. My face has been fairly clear, but my body, I have struggled with body acne throughout the whole second trimester. I had it all over my chest, all over my back, and literally the only thing that has helped me is cleansing it with hyaluronic acid cleanser and using witch hazel. Now that I'm going into the third trimester, it's getting a little bit better, but that is something I definitely struggled with that I don't feel like is talked about a lot. So I just wanted to throw that in there because that was a really big thing that happened to me, and it can honestly make you super insecure. My dermatologist said since there's not a lot of stuff you can take in pregnancy and it's hormonal, there's not a lot you can do for it, and it can last into like after pregnancy, postpartum, when you're breastfeeding. So yeah, I just wanted to pop in and say that because that was something that was really important. So I'm gonna show you guys a little belly shot. The last time I did this, my belly was probably pretty small. I probably hadn't even popped yet, but now I'm 28 weeks. Definitely have a belly, feeling pretty large. So I'm gonna show you guys that and hopefully compare it in my third trimester video. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my belly. So this is my belly at 28 weeks. We are definitely large and in charge, poking out there. I love fitted dresses like this. I've really been into the fashion of the tight shirt and the fitted dresses. So I'm hoping to do a little maternity try on haul for you guys, show you where I've got a lot of my maternity clothes from. So leave a comment down below if that is something that you would like to see. But yeah. This is my little big belly. Well, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are also pregnant, leave a comment down below of when you are due, or just some of the things that happened to you in the second trimester, or if you can relate to some of the things that I talked about in this video. I am a lot more active on my Instagram, so if you want to go and follow me over there, I post a lot of bump updates, pregnancy updates, life, gardening, cooking. I do a little bit of everything, so I will leave that linked down below for you guys. But I think that is all that I have for today's video, so I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.